guys, hari ni bersama dengan Faiz. Okey, bersama dengan kita season baru Financial Faiz punya podcast. Dan kita punya guest hari ni adalah Encik Hafiz Farouk dari Rahim & Co. Rahim & Co ni is a property valuer?
Ya, kita property consultant.
Property consultant.
One of the largest real estate firm in Malaysia.
I mentioned tadi property valuer. You corrected me by saying it's a
Property consultant.
Is it one level up?
Sebab dia lagi big daripada valuation. Sebab
Right.
kita ada 4 umbrella of service.
Right.
Kita ada research, property research, where we advise what is the best for the property. Let's say developer come to us, say what is the highest and best use of the land. So kita akan advise around what is the HBU study, what is the current condition of the market, what is the demand. So that is under real estate punya side, business unit. Then after that we have valuation. Kita ada valuation for financing, for corporate client, for GLC client and land acquisition, statutory valuation. Then we have real estate agency.
You guys do?
Yeah, we
Mana
have
ada REN and REA kat dalam tu?
Yeah, we have a REN, REA. That one we do for transaction, macam land transaction, office building transaction. We do a lot of corporate transaction lah, yang we do one single largest punya transaction equal to billion punya worth Integra Tower dulu. That is our biggest deal lah yang kita pernah buat untuk Kuap. Then other than that, kita ada buat property management. We manage property for client lah.
Macam maintenance tu lah.
Macam maintenance lah. Actually it's bigger than facility management lah. Means you manage security, you manage the management of the cleaners, the security, the landscaping.
Not necessarily residential, tapi
yeah, we do. We also doing for corporate office building. We also do for that residential building and house complex lah. Just strata management.
There's a lot of services under Rahim & Co.
Yeah, there's a lot of services under Rahim.
So for you, you focus on
valuation lah. For me,
valuation.
I'm especially focused on valuation, and I also a team of management member that overlook all these four portfolio lah. So we have about 12 management member lah, means head of department of each business unit tu. And we also have our chairman, our beloved Tan Sri Rahim, and Puan Alisa. And we got a team of management that we only overseeing this operation of all these 4 core business. And we also have 22 branches nationwide.
22 branches
Nationwide.
So it's actually a very big company
very big
lah.
organization lah. So we also oversee their activities also lah.
I thought this is your company, Rahim & Co kan.
It's a very big company.
Lah. You're just part of the management team.
Part of the management team, and we are 49% owned by PNB.
Oh, 49.
We are 49%.
How about the remaining 51? Is it
Tan Sri Rahim?
Tan Sri Rahim himself?
How long you dah join this company with this?
Actually, bila I first grad, I terus join this company. Then after that, I think about 2 or 3 years I dah kerja. Then I go to Maybank. So I joined Maybank as a internal valuation unit lah. We call it IVU. So doing valuation for Maybank properties and Maybank punya risk management punya side. Then I got my license as a registered valuer. Then I come back to Rahim & Co lah to serve.
Why is it important for a company to know their own, like you said, you kerja dekat Maybank as internal valuer. Why is it important? Property tu dah beli dah.
As dekat Maybank, kita monitoring the valuation to make sure that all our valuer inside the panel tu adhere with the, kita panggil service level agreement lah, to make sure they follow the guideline lah, just as an auditor to the valuation lah.
Oh, so you mean you are auditing the valuers yang panel to Maybank?
Yeah, memang dia orang buat professional work just as a second opinion. Sometimes we're not questioning them, just to make sure all in accordance lah.
To make sure that diorang ni tak depend sangat to the outsource, and then ada internally yang
internal control lah. Basically, we just make sure that diorang punya timeline, punya means data yang digunakan tu okay. Biasanya semua okay lah. Basically they're all professional. We just monitor to make sure that we follow lah, macam internal auditor, something like that.
So basically Rahim & Co mostly serve corporate punya client lah. Dia banyak tak fokus more on consumer punya client?
Actually kita banyak consumer. Means dekat head office kita serve more corporate and JLC clients apa semua. Tapi basically bread and butter is financing institutional. Financial banking lah.
Meaning waktu orang nak beli rumah, and then that particular house upsale has to be valued. So Rahim and Co or other companies will come in. That is one of your core business lah. Is that something that you oversee as well as a senior manager dekat Rahim and Co?
I don't sign report for financial, very rare lah.
Okay.
But I will oversee my branches punya working lah.
I see.
To make sure that they are follow the guideline also lah, to make sure the value is accordance to, because we have signing limit. Kita ada control in place that maknanya kita ada branch manager yang experience this how many years. We have certain signing limit for certain officers. So bila you dah exceed your signing limit, then you have to come to certain orang cakap peer review lah, to make sure that the value tu is prudent lah. Because when you give finance, value is something that people can monetize, So we need to be very careful in giving the value.
Ya, I ada dengar some valuer yang I pernah bekerja dulu, dia dibuang daripada dia punya valuer companies because dia tersalah value one of the property tu lah. That is the risk to become a valuer.
Valuer lah. So that's why the work must be professionally checked lah, in term of evidence apa you pakai, make sure that evidence tu is the latest evidence. Dia ada banyak perkara yang perlu tengok lah, make sure the land area betul. Kadang ada banyak benda yang kita boleh overlook. So, basically macam land kan. Land tu kadang-kadang kita tengok land area kat atas je kan. Land area
atas.
Just a simple lah. Kita tengok land area kat atas. Dia bagi title tu mungkin title 2016 ada bagi kat kita.
Dah lama lah.
Lepas tu you pun tak buat title search, you terus value the property kan. Bila land ni, bila dia ada pengambilan balik tanah dia takkan kurangkan land area dekat atas tau. Kalau dia tak keluar title baru, contohnya tanah you, katakanlah tanah you 10 ekar, 2 ekar diambil oleh kerajaan, dia takkan kurangkan land area you dekat atas.
Dekat atas tu maksudnya apa? Dekat dalam peta ke?
Bukan, dalam you punya grant tu dia ada luas dekat atas tu. I pun tak boleh.
I see, okay.
Okay, dia ada luas dekat atas tu, luas berapa.
Right.
Luas tu takkan dikurangkan.
Dia akan buat notation kat bawah.
Dia ada buat notation kat bawah, pengambilan balik tanah, borang K, luas sebanyak berapa.
I see.
So kalau you overlook this valuation ni, this particular valuation, you dah tervalue lebih 2 ekar.
Or maybe you are using the 2016 punya grant.
Grant. Sebab you tak buat latest search. Yang 2018.
Kalau you buat latest search, you akan nampak lah
you akan
pengambilan
nampak lah the citation tu.
I see.
So sometimes people, you need to be very careful on that. Sometimes kadang-kadang ada orang yang beli tanah kan. Dia beli tanah, dia tengok, ni 10 ekar. Tapi dia tak tengok sebenarnya bawah tu ada pengambilan notis borang K. Dia tengok notis kerajaan ambil balik tanah 2 ekar. So you have to deduct the land area from the main land area tu.
Sebab dia beli sikit.
Itu ada salah satu perkara yang boleh berlaku. So benda-benda macam ni kita kena betul-betul careful lah.
Betul. It's a very tricky punya profession juga. Macam lawyers. Do you guys sama level dengan lawyer tak?
Tak
boleh lah.
Professional.
Daripada segi professional je, liability yang kita tanggung agak tinggi lah. Kita have to make sure, actually we protect the interest of the bank lah. Kita nak make sure that the value given itu prudent, property tu wujud. Kita akan pergi inspect, dan kalau ada apa-apa, macam kadang ada property yang tiba-tiba dekat ni memanglah nampak indah cantik kan, bila dah pergi rupanya ada crack, ada that kind of thing that we will highlight to the bank lah, to make sure that the value tu betul-betul is prudent lah given tu. Ada case yang macam tu lah, macam bila dia minta indication, dia bagi tahu lah ada reno ratus ribu apa semua kan. Bila kita pergi, tak adalah reno
itu verbal valuation. Tapi bila buat actual, then you akan mark down kan the price lah.
Mark down the price lah. Kita akan notice bank that the value given tu have to be adjusted because of such adjustment.
And then financing from the bank pun akan berkurang lah.
Financing akan berkurangan. Lepas tu diorang pun akan tengok balik diorang punya margin, diorang punya risk factor apa semua.
So that's why you meant you guys protect the interest of the bank.
We always protect the interest of the bank lah. Dan sometimes kita pun pernah menyelamatkan duit bank jugalah. Sometimes kita detect this is rare case lah kan, yang sometimes kita detect fraud cases. Yang macam bila kita pergi inspect, sebenarnya dia bukan owner property tu.
Oh, boleh pula.
Ada yang white collar crime ni pun pernah terjadi. Dan kita notice bank, this particular client is not the beneficial owner of the property.
Macam mana macam tu? Bukan selalu ada dekat dalam geran ke nama?
Sometimes property yang based on deed of assignment, yang deed of assignment is not, maknanya property tu tak issue title lagi. It's just through paper je kan. Property macam strata property yang kondominium yang tak issue dulu-dulu lah. Is dulu, sekarang memang compulsory when you
bagi kunci.
When you dapat CF, you ada strata. Sekarang punya HD Housing Development Act, you have to strata now. Tapi property dulu-dulu, dia siap dulu. Dan waktu tu tak ada strata lagi. Strata come out after 4-5 years baru strata come out. So benda terjadi dalam this within this gap tu.
So, macam mana nak start a career menjadi seorang valuer ni? Do you maksudnya dari macam REN, real estate negotiator, dia just siapa-siapa pun boleh jadi. Ambil 2 hari kursus dah boleh registered lah. Kalau macam valuer ni, is it macam lawyer juga yang you kena go to courses dari degree, diploma degree, and then some certificate baru boleh jadi valuer?
Valuation ni you kena go through, means is registered under BOVIAP lah, Board of Valuer, Appraiser, Estate Agent and Property Management punya board. So it's by act.
By act.
Kita ada act lah, Akta Penilaian Pentaksir dan Ejen Harta Tanah. Dan kita kena, macam saya, based on my experience lah, so you have a degree.
You degree in
property management lah, BSc in property management. Dan dia board ada dia ada qualify few university lah yang mana yang dia recognize the degree. So you boleh, once you dah ada degree tu, you kena buat logbook, buat 2 years. Okay, after you buat logbook tu, you kena buat task. You ada 2 task lah. Dia cover banyak lah. Ada land acquisition, untuk research, property management. So it's up to lah which, macam I cakap tadi ada 4 macam kita orang punya kan. So you in which venture, you buat your task, professional task, then you go to the board for the interview lah.
For after 2 years baru
after 2 years you baru boleh submit task. After the task tu, then you have to go through the interview lah. So dia akan ada 3 panel tu. So dia akan tengok you punya task, dan dia akan query lah. Dia bukan query lah, dia akan interview to make sure you are ready to become a valuer, yang betul-betul valuer lah. So to be frank with you, number of valuer Malaysia ni, I think tak exceed 1,500 lagi.
That's very little.
Very little. So my number is 984.
Oh, your number?
Your personal number? My number is
And you've been doing this for a while. You got that number
I think I got my number is 2014.
Yeah, about a decade ago. And still the number is not more than 500 since you...
If not mistaken, it's not above 1,500 lagi lah. You can check the number dekat BOVIAP punya website lah. Dia ada, dekat BOVIAP punya website, you boleh search. Kalau orang claim dia property valuer ke atau REN ke, you type the name, then it should be appear lah. Dia under which company, what is the number. So.
But REN memang ada ramai. Number dah berpuluh ribu dah rasanya. But valuer masih like
valuer masih lah.
Because diorang kena practice about 2 years before diorang boleh pergi ke board untuk interview. Kalau macam REN yang I interview Tuan Iman hari tu, dia kata just ambil kursus 2 hari je. Dia
different sebab kita valuer, bila you dapat lesen, kita ada, macam saya ada 3 license. Okay, once you dapat V tu akan dapat E and akan dapat PM.
Cuba terang sikit.
Okay, V tu is a registered valuer. E tu estate agent. Estate agent.
Oh, you dapat estate agent sekali?
Saya ada estate agent
when
license.
When you do this, you dapat that?
Yeah, estate agent. Dan property management punya license.
PM, property management. So you have license to do all 3. It's up to you nak buat apa lah.
So macam I boleh REN, I boleh ada 30 bawah I.
Betul, REN. Which is the part
I can supervise 30 REN lah.
Tapi you tak buat lah.
Sebab I focus on valuation.
But you can. Let's say kalau dia nak transfer you to this REN, boleh. Okay.
So property management pun I ada license. I certified property manager lah.
So since you dah lama dalam this company and as a valuer, what do you think about our property market punya value lah, harga-harga property kita sekarang ni? Is it a good kenaikan, or is it plateau, or do you see a trend of menurun?
To be frank lah, when we monitor property market punya activity lah kan, actually kita stable lah. Even last year punya number tu dah exceed 2009 punya, maknanya pre-COVID punya level tu, maknanya kita dah sampai lah pre-COVID punya level punya transaction. Means
The number is number of transactions ataupun amount?
dua-dua dah.
Dua-dua both,
Okay. If not mistaken, I think dah dua-dua dah exceed. Tapi tak adalah jauh sangat. Tapi means it's about there. Dan dia dah stable, dan the number can be means how you translate the number lah kan, because it's average number for the total transaction. But if you go on subsector tu, mungkin akan ada some ada yang naik, ada yang turun kan, macam industri dia naik, ada yang high end sector dia menurun sikit. So it's very subjective lah. Tapi to be frank, it is stable. Cuma kita ada overhang number lah. Overhang number tu yang build tapi ansur lah. It's about 18 million, about 27,000 unit yang dah
Worth
siap.
18 billion worth.
Worth 18 billion, about 18 billion ya. Tapi dia dah drop. The number was 20 something, dan the worst tu dah turun lah. Means the number tu dah reduce. So bit healthy, dah turun, tapi it's not still unproductivity tu tak adalah. You talking about 18 billion punya value just sit there idle without anyone doing it.
So this 18 billion ringgit worth of houses is being owned by the developer. Sebelum dia handover, dia pegang. So in that same sentence, we can say that developer pun pegang liability to that house. The taxes, the maintenance, dia kena bayar. Kalau rumah tu dah siap, orang 90% dah ada pembeli, 10% dia pegang, dia kena bayar maintenance on that particular house. Developer ni ada plan tak untuk bagi more discount ke rebate ke on this?
I think sebab dia orang punya profit start dekat situ. Okay, sebab developer margin profit dia tak tinggi.
Tak tinggi
so about less than 20% from the GDV.
Okay.
So you just imagine kalau you bought 30% of the project unsold, completed, means your profit tu start dekat situ. So nak tak nak, you have to cash out the things. Either you give rebate ke, sebab you need the cash flow. Kalau tak, you stuck few hundred million dekat that stock tu, dia akan rugilah. So that's why lah they are willing to give rebate kan.
Tapi kadang I wonder, this all property developer lah, I pun tak faham how they think. Memang diorang buat property nak untung, tapi there are so many overhang property. What makes diorang nak buat lagi property, you know?
Dia selalu ini masalah juga yang kita hadapi ni. Selalu pergi kat ni, diorang akan cakap, oh, we are different. Dia always a stand yang cakap we are different from others.
We're special.
We are special, we are different. So that's kind of thing yang diorang rasa boleh buat. Tapi I think developers sekarang is much educated. Diorang dah learn from experience. Things dah change. Means diorang dah repackage it in different way.
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle satu. Dan macam contoh, dulu you dapat coklat, you beli coklat RM2, you still get the same chocolate at RM2, but with the different size, with the different, you dulu ada aluminium foil, sekarang dah tak ada aluminium foil, dia just balik macam tu je. So this kind of thing yang happening, you still dapat price yang dulu launch, I think before 2018 lah, yang macam when we was the peak at 2011, 2012 sampai 2014 or 16. So the launch semua yang mahal, above 500 punya bracket. So sekarang ni kita banyak see yang below 500 punya bracket.
We're talking about high rise
high rise. Okay. Yang below 500 punya bracket punya launches of property lah. Tapi subject to size lah. Size dia dah reduce, dia dah repackage, become high density property kan. Things like that lah.
40 story ke? Was it 50 story?
Yang recently kan you talking about 3,000 unit within 2 or 3 acres punya, within 5 acres punya land, that kind of density kan you talking about.
So since there's higher density, how come diorang boleh claim that we are different? Then you know, bila more density ni orang lagi lah tak nak.
Tapi price, when we talking about price, you offer price that 300 plus kan. Sebab diorang boleh buat untung. Sebab you talking about apa, economic value kan, apa, scale, economy of scale kan. You talking economy of scale. So dia boleh jual murah. So dia punya cost reduce. You talking about same basement parking apa semua kan. So dia boleh do some efficiency there. So dia boleh offer harga yang rendah. So orang ni dia berkorban in term of cram, duduk dengan tempat cram semua, untuk harga lah.
Faham,
So
faham.
you willing kat mana lah,
affordable
lah.
price for them to buy lah. Sebab sekarang nak dapat 300,000 pun agak susah
agak
juga.
susah, tapi actually ramai yang
Ada lah.
tahu, banyak actually government insentif yang kita, contohnya kalau dekat wilayah kita ada rumah pemilik wilayah persekutuan yang dijual
Rumah
pada rumah WIP semua harga 300,000 lah. Dan masalah orang kita ni 300,000 pun masih lagi dia cakap rumah mampu tengok. That's the reality. People yang cakap 300,000 ni mahal. Tapi orang kena faham yang takkan kurang dah daripada tu.
Betul.
Kita kena hadap realiti yang bahawa rumah takkan lagi murah daripada tu dah. So kalau you nak rumah lebih mahal, lebih murah daripada tu, mungkin
low cost lah.
akan jadi 5,000 pula lah 1 ekar nanti esok kalau nak dapat. Nak benda macam tu
ataupun
kan.
diorang cari rumah subsale yang low cost punya. Adalah flat low cost.
Flat low cost. Ada you boleh dapat lah below 200 kan, at 500 650 punya square footage apa semua lah kan. Tapi it's depend lah how you want to compromise between the balance between the price and your living quality lah.
Tapi depends on, rakyat Malaysia gaji minimum pun 1,500 kan. So kalau rumah 300,000, the installment is about 1,500 juga. So that's why diorang kata even 300,000 pun rumah mampu tengok je.
Rumah mampu tengok. Yalah, tapi that's yang hakikat yang saya faham. Saya pernah duduk kat tempat tu. Memang bila you ada that cash flow punya strain, I pernah duduk dekat situasi diorang bila you punya, orang cakap disposal income is about only 400 or 600 ringgit a month. You habis bayar tolak-tolak hutang ada 600 je dalam sebulan tu. Dalam sebulan lah, dan you hidup on credit card. Tapi itu hakikat. Saya bukan nak cakap memang gaji kita rendah. Dan I baru ni I borak lah dengan one of my cousin, dan dia minta lah advice nak beli property apa semua. Dan dia cerita lah, dia I cakap nak masuk kerja government lah kan. Dia masuk government. Dia as a new officer lah kan, gaji dalam I think tak reach 3,000 pun diorang punya starting salary kan. So dia nak duduk dekat KL lah kan. So bila I do the calculation kan, it's turn out sampai negatif.
Sebab dia kos sara hidup.
Kos sara hidup dia terlampau tinggi. You nak sewa rumah dah berapa kan. Lepas tu you cakap duit minyak, duit makan kan. You makan sekali RM10 tak kurang. Kalau makan 3 hari sekali dah berapa. Tak masuk lagi you punya leisure, subscription untuk api, air, internet bill. Bila kita kira-kira balik, memang diorang tak afford sebenarnya.
So in this case, dia actually jumping from other company, ada swasta ke?
Dia baru fresh grad dan start kerja kan. So memang saya akui perkara tu, dan something yang we have to look at lah, the problem. Ada root problem yang gaji tak cukup, dan harga tu memang sampai situ je. So kita ada that kind of gap lah.
You know what the younger ones are saying, they look at the prices of the house, and it's only going to go up. Or kalau tak naik pun because of stagnant ke apa ke during the past 2-3 years, it's still way too expensive compared to gaji di 1,800. So it makes them so depressed. Instead of macam simpan kumpul duit 1,800 kau nak simpan berapa je, maybe RM500, they decided to, I'm going to spend the money now. I'm going to live in the now. In the later lah, dia macam
cerita kemudian lah.
Cerita kemudian. It will bite them in the behind lepas ni, betul. Tetapi in a way I pun kesian diorang, sebab when it is very difficult for you to live now, you can't really think of the future, and then you splurge now. Tapi betul lah, whatever they are sekarang ni, contohlah gaji yang sebut tadi, umur 26-27, is a result of dia punya decision sebelum ini. Waktu kat sekolah ke, belajar rajin, tidak. Tapi to tell them about that sekarang dah tak boleh. Dah rugi lah.
Dah pas lah.
Dah pas lah. The least I can do is to tell them you have to. Tapi ada geng yang kata sorry, I don't care about the future, sebab now dengan 1,800 yang ada ni, nak makan pun, nak hidup 1,400, tinggal RM400. Instead of I save RM400 yang tak banyak mana, tunggu 10 bulan baru RM4,000. Bagi dia lah, tak banyak. Tapi dia nak spend benda tu sekarang. So you know what they do? Dia ambil lah personal loan ke, ambil phone, beli phone, pakai pinjaman yang kadang kadang-kadang orang yang, kadang-kadang kita kesian tau. Kadang yang ada anak ni kan, bawa Grab, malam laki bini bawa Grab. Kadang-kadang kita
rasa susah hati. Orang macam ni dia betul-betul sincere nak maju. Dia nak invest tapi dapat cikgu yang salah. Kan? Kita banyak property guru yang claim dia orang property guru. Dia orang tak certified. Dia orang tak ada, bukan degree in property ke apa tu kan. Sebab dia orang bila jual property tu dia orang dapat commission apa semua.
For them to call them a property guru or a property consultant, you should be dia orang ada at least certificate apa?
Sebenarnya diorang safe claim je. Dia
Self
sebenarnya
claim je.
yang untuk property macam license kita orang daripada boviap je.
Yang
Board of
boviap
Valuers.
saja boleh
So you're
bagi
saying
consultant.
that there are some protected words yang you guys boleh pakai, agent ke, valuer ke, which they do not use. They just call themselves guru.
Guru.
So is I mean, it won't land them in hot water,
Yeah.
but it's good enough for them to be somewhat prominent and people will pay
Yeah,
for their
people-
classes and whatnot lah.
They just claim that dia ada property 10-20 beli. Dia claim dia as a property investor lah.
You as a property consultant kan?
Saya property consultant.
And you
Can you
also
consult?
invest.
Ya, I invest in myself. Tapi yelah macam saya cakap lah, mampu invest lah. I pun ada 3 property je. Tak adalah banyak sangat pun. Tapi
Ada
property is a big ticket item kan.
Hmm.
You kena betul-betul jaga cash flow kan. Nak dapat saya tenant pun bukan
So
susah.
can you consult orang?
Ya, can consult.
Did you actually open for consulting? You know, ada fees dia ke?
Tadi kita tak bagi fees because fees kita regulated. So bila you nak charge fee tu make sure is something that service macam kita ada scale untuk valuation, kita ada scale fee. Untuk research tu kita boleh lah bagi fee.
Can a normal person like saya nak beli property, boleh
Or
consult
for example, I nak beli 5 ekar tanah. And then, is this a good thing for my purpose? Contohnya, nak buat kandang lembu.
And then
It's
jumpa
something that you and your company can do
kita
lah.
akan run the cash
Oh,
flow.
usually go to the company lah, bukan go to
the personal lah because I work at Rahim Mengku.
So kalau kita tadi cakap pasal orang yang kurang berkemampuan untuk beli rumah, tapi ada juga satu kumpulan ni yang dia lebih daripada kemampuan untuk beli rumah. Maknanya rumah untuk dia duduk sendiri dia ada. And then dia tengah fikir pasal investment. So is property a good asset class to become an investment, and berapa kadar pulangan yang sesuai yang kita boleh tengok. Kalau kita tengok kat ASB contoh kita boleh tahu tahun lepas dia bagi 4.65%. Before that it was 4.5% kot. Dia tukar-tukar tapi tak lagi lah 4.5 dia akan macam itulah, dia tak akan tiba-tiba naik 10%. So tapi itu keuntungan bersih. Maknanya whatever dia dapat tak payah bayar tax pun. There are no other cost. Tapi untuk rumah pula macam mana dia punya pulangan yang dia perlu tengok? Berapakah rental yield yang ataupun capital appreciation rate yang dia perlu dapatkan supaya making this property investment ni worthwhile?
Property definitely good asset class. Is always subject to your punya investment lah. So sometimes you nak cakap bila you ada property dekat KL, that's dekat tempat yang memang very scarce punya, memang very orang cakap lubuk emas lah, that's a good asset class. Tapi kalau you beli property kat tempat yang jauh, yang tak ada demand apa semua, dia takkan jadi good asset class lah. It's always depend in what you invest lah, type of property, risk that you took to buy the property lah. Tapi kena faham, bila you beli property ni dia hedge against inflation. Dia hedge against inflation lah kan. Dan you ada return on rental. Dan dia ada return on rental. Dan on top of that dia ada return on capital appreciation. So dia ada return dia tu bukannya on satu lah. Lepas tu dia ada pride on owning the things. So basically the return of property ni dia usually around 3 to 4%. 3 to 4% lah net lah. So kalau you dapat above 4 tu pun dah kira dah memang alhamdulillah lah. Kalau you dapat 5 tu memang dah sujud syukur lah. Kan? You talking about this is residential property lah Dan berdasarkan kepada case study kita, property high rise tend to give high rental, high yield lah. High rise
High
ni
yield dari segi rental?
daripada segi rental lah, sebab dia boleh dapat rental tinggi compared to landed property. Landed property ni dia punya rental tak boleh bagi mahal. Memanglah kalau you compare 2,500 rental untuk rumah teres, tapi dia punya capital cost tu lagi tinggi untuk landed, sebab rumah landed ni mahal.
Betul.
So punya yield tu akan compress lah. Tapi daripada segi capital appreciation, rumah landed akan lagi cepat dia punya capital appreciation lah. First kali because of supply lah, sebab rumah landed tu supply dia limit.
The land itself.
Land itself lah kan. Sebab kalau you cakap rumah kondo, you kalau beli rumah yang dekat 800, ada 800 unit, then you have to compete. Capital appreciation ada 800 unit ni lah kan. Bila talking landed ni, dia very limited property lah. So you ada balance between these two lah. So kalau you nak landed, you nak high rise, you boleh gain in term of yield, tapi capital appreciation akan kurang sikit. Kalau ini you lost in yield tapi capital appreciation akan tinggi.
Since you cakap tadi about kalau boleh dapat return about 4% tu pun cukup bagus kan. How about sometimes dia orang punya return is negative. Dia orang beli that property tak dapat nak resewakan pun. How about high rise lah contohnya kan. Because we competing with other property juga nak sewakan. What do you think about that?
Ini yang menjadi masalah. Masalahnya property tu boleh rent, tapi masalahnya pasal nak rent tinggi lah. So dia orang kena realize lah berapa actually yang betul-betul you boleh sewa kan. Memang sekarang dah menjadi norm, you have negative cash flow. You kena accept that you invest in property for few years, you have to take negative cash flow. Sampai dah tempat tu rental dia dah sustain, dan mungkin baru you boleh gain lah. Sebab property is a long term punya investment. You tak boleh yang 5 years punya investment. It's not like that.
It's not like that anymore.
Yeah, it's not like that
It
anymore.
used to be boleh
Used to be boleh during DIBS.
DIBS, Developer Interest Bearing Scheme. And dulu kita pun ada Guaranteed Rental Scheme, GRR. Masih ada lagi yang tu? So can we talk about both of them? These are all developer initiatives.
DIBS sebenarnya dulu dia dah ada certain developer yang berjaya dapatkan ni. How DIBS work is you just bayar booking, then you apply loan. You tak payah bayar pun during the construction. You don't have serve your interest.
The progressive interest.
The progressive interest. Then once dah siap tak sempat you nak serve the loan, you flip. Ini is very popular during I think 2011, 2012 kan. Yeah, that's time when people make money. Then we have project. I cannot mention the project lah, but you have a project yang kita as a valuer pun tak boleh nak cash up. Kan, dia launch 200 lebih. Lepas tu tak sampai setahun dah jadi 300 lebih, naik 400 lebih sampai dia reach the peak lah.
When you say tak boleh catch up, meaning your valuation is actually lagging, tapi people already selling it at higher price. But they have to buy with
kita
cash.
tak boleh nak match the price. Sometimes tiba-tiba asking, sebab kita value kita based on historical data and we also see the asking prices. Sometimes kita tak boleh nak catch up. Sometimes kita baru value that subject property tu dalam 450 2 months ago, dan suddenly come sekarang 530 pula. Dia cakap, come on, the pace is so fast at that time.
But in that situation, the buyers would have to either pay cash ataupun top up cash lah kan, sebab the valuation tak match.
Tak match.
So loan margin pun tak match dengan
tak match lah. So in term of value pun control price jugalah. Means kita translate what is the current reality lah kan. Tapi when the pace goes so high, then dia become data jugalah kan. Means that 530 tu become a data. Then we have to adopt lah that there's a new norm of the transaction.
Because there is a demand on that price kan. Demand and supply. Sanggup beli on that price 530.
So that's how it's happened. Dan sampai dia dah reach peak. Dan waktu tu tak ada RPGT apa semua kan. Memang orang buat flip tu sedap. Dan government put some control on that lah. To make sure that cooling measures on that, and to reduce the speculation lah kan. Speculation is not so good. When you speculate, things boleh jadi bubble kan. Benda yang is not realized actually, dia macam balloon lah kan. Benda yang is not so I think government put some major control on that. So that makes things better lah actually. The IBS that's when dulu lah popular perkataan flip ni. Tapi sekarang dah tak ada dah. Anak-anak sekarang kena sedar sekarang benda tu dah tak ada dah.
Boleh flip untuk those yang bercapital lah untuk buat. And then it's not
bercapital pun market value tu tak dapat dah. You tak dapat dah nak untung 100% atau 30% daripada apa yang you beli.
What do you expect? 100% in what, 3 years? They do expect
kalau dulu kan you beli 270, you dapat jual 300.5, it's more than 50% of your capital dah. Then you tak keluar capital pun sebenarnya. Actually you just bayar booking je.
I see.
That's happened dulu lah kan.
I pun tak sempat. That time I think 2011 I still study kot.
Waktu tu saya pun baru start kerja kan. Kita pun tak sempat nak buat
nak join orang sekali
kan. Tapi I think lepas tu dah tak ada dah, bila dah stop this kind of thing. When you have orang cakap access to finance very easy, that's make things unproductive lah kan. So we talking about money market apa semua. So dah stop benda tu. Then talking about GRR ni, something yang GRR ni pun something that people have to be very caution.
Apa?
GRR
Guarantee
rental return.
This one is promised by the developer.
Yeah, promised by the developer.
How does it work sebenarnya?
Actually, diorang akan pack into certain return rate. So let's say, okay, you buy this, kita guarantee you return at 6% from your capital lah. Means you buy the property at 500,000.
30,000 per year.
So we got, let's say kita guarantee you 6%.
6,500. 30,000 lah.
So you guarantee certain rental lah. Tapi apa yang orang tak sedar sebenarnya, dia tak baca agreement tu betul-betul. First kali you kena tahu the term of the rental tu berapa lama. Saya kadang-kadang actually diorang dah inflate the rental return tu dalam you punya price dah. So they just paying you back je you punya for 3 years.
Right.
And then lepas tu dia exit. Dan you tak dapat balik rental at that 6%. 6% tadi saya bagi tahu standard 3 ke 4% je. You talking about 6% kan. Lepas 3 tahun you tak dapat. That's number one. Lepas tu number 2 is siapa yang guarantee rental tu. Kita ada pernah sampai court case yang okay, dia claim, dia cakap dia bagi rental return apa semua, lepas tu tak bayar. Dan the company developer just declare bankrupt je lah. Dan you nak claim kat siapa?
Maybe sebab the special vehicle tu is anak syarikat.
Kan?
So dan guarantee anak syarikat dia just bankruptkan lah.
Kan dia kita tak boleh nak komen lah, tapi that's how they work like that lah. So dan ada yang setengah tu dia exit clause dia boleh exit je. Means developer boleh exit bila-bila. That's agreement tu you kena baca betul-betul. Diorang can exit. Let's say they don't have a tenant, they have a right to terminate the agreement ke bila dia tak dapat tenant. Sebab diorang pun depend on the tenant yang akan datang. Let's say student, diorang expect kemasukan student. Atau on term of tourist, they expect kedatangan turis. Kita tak payah cakap lah. Tapi kalau kita Google around Malaysia lah, kalau you tengok, I tak nak bagi tahu projek, tapi kalau kita boleh tengok yang macam yang ada theme park punya type of JRR apa semua kan, you all boleh find how JRR punya success rate lah. So bila orang datang kat you cakap, oh ni property ni ada JRR, make sure you know the whole truth about the JRR story lah.
Okay. Cik Hafiz, so kalau developer nak buat satu projek, they still need a valuer to determine the selling price of the project ke dia boleh suka hati dia nak letak berapa harga?
Dia punya suka hati dia letak berapa.
They do not need any approval by the valuer.
No, actually ada satu, I think Melaka State they need approval from the, I think dia ada lembaga lah yang untuk approve the selling price of the property.
Okay.
So kalau you tengok kenaikan negeri Melaka, kenaikan harga rumah negeri Melaka tu dia stable.
Terkawal sikit. Sebab let's say rumah dah siap, and then let's say kita cakap tadi pasal unsur units and then cakap pasal flipping, right, after dapat kunci terus flip. Those two sales perlukan valuation, betul? Kalau jual direct daripada developer as under construction, tak perlu.
Okay,
so
kalau dah sub-sale dah ada.
Sub-sale dah kena ada. So in that instances, ada tak situation di mana harga jual oleh developer tu adalah 500,000 contohnya, tapi valuer kata 400,000 je sebenarnya dia punya.
Banyak.
Ada banyak kes
banyak kes macam tu. Sebab sebagai valuer, macam saya cakap lah, kita protect interest bank. We have to make sure that our value is prudent. So contohnya katakan tiba-tiba kita ni penyiasat pun juga kan. Kita akan siasat,
investigate.
Kita akan investigate further. Let's say dia cakap S&P price 800,000. Dan dia bagilah S&P price apa semua, tapi kita akan berlakon jadi buyer. So we will have our research team,
secret shopper.
Kita akan shop dan tanya actually what is the rebate apa semua. Dan kita pun akan tengok asking price on the sub-sale market.
The surrounding area lah.
Surrounding. No, sometimes kat property tu sendiri orang yang
dah
tak ada order, dah ada unit, dah ada jual.
Okay.
Kita akan tengok trend dekat situ before kita decide on the value lah. So kita tak akan ambil face value lah. Kita akan siasat lah. Kita akan investigate further lah.
Ada situation tak di mana bank tahu that the developer is giving too much rebate, too much dips, too much GRR, too much give back money to the purchaser. Discount. They don't call it discount sebab discount kena reflect dekat S&P. This one dia bagi rebate. Dia kata you tak payah bayar 10%. In fact you dapat cashback. Okay. So ada tak situation di mana bank akan kata, yes, this is my project. I am the I'm the bridging loan for this bank, and maybe the end financier juga. Tapi since ada banyak sangat rebate, I will cut down the margin from normal 90% to only 80% saja.
We don't decide on that.
Okay.
We only provide the market value to the bank.
Right.
So on the margin punya cerita tu is up to the bank lah, how they going to mitigate that risk lah.
But they might make that decision based on you punya research lah. You might just tell them.
Kita akan advise. Ada bank juga yang akan minta kita punya advice on the selling price. Bila dia nak endorse the end financing punya partnership to the developer, dia akan minta kita punya advice whether the price put by the developer is a market price ke tak.
Sebab the way I see it, all this cashback and whatnot, bila you campur-campur balik, the house memang S&P macam you cakap 800,000, tapi actually the actual value is maybe only 700 or maybe 600. The 200 is just fluff.
Dan ada lagi yang pasal undervalue kan. Orang cakap property ni undervalue kan. Dia banyaklah term orang Malaysia ni suka perkataan discount. Bila nampak je undervalue ke discount ke, dia cakap yelah dia nak untung kan. Tapi actually kita kena tahu value tu is price tu equilibrium between demand and supply. Okay, katakanlah you ada 10 orang yang advertise under value. Actually it's not under value property dah. That's the new floor.
That's the value lah.
That's the value. That's the new market value. That's the new floor. Mungkin transaction untuk taman tu tahun lepas 700,000 kan. So tahun ni mungkin ada something happen, ada flood ke, ada traffic jam ke, ada some simpang ke apa ke, ada highway lalu ke apa ke, dan orang start to release at lower price. Mungkin dia start 600. Kalau ada 10 orang iklan kat 650, dia cakap it's lower than the market value. Sebab kalau dia bench again that 700,000. But actually that's the new market value, that's 650.
Dia suruh keluar iklan apa tu, under MV.
Under MV. So people kena tahu, there no such thing yang macam tu sebenarnya. Kalau dah kalau satu orang tu mungkinlah kita boleh consider kan. Kalau dah 10 orang dah iklan macam tu, that's a new floor lah.
That's a joke lah. Kalau you pergi departmental store, you akan nampak discount 30%, discount 30%. If they advertise that all year, there's no more discount. The discounted price tu is the actual price.
That's the actual price. Sometimes itulah masalah kita ni, make sure kita ada knowledge lah benda tu. Jangan terus dengar cerita indah je lah. Siasat dulu perkara tu betul-betul.
But Encik Hafiz, kalau kita berbalik kepada that topic, maybe when they say under market value, they actually refer to market value set by the valuer so that they can get a cashback. Betul tak? In that sense.
But that mungkin that particular valuer relying on the historical data.
Yes.
So soon bila dia buat valuation yang baru, kita ada new data, then we will reflect in the new market value. As a valuer, kita the tips is the market value should always below asking.
Yes, okay.
Just to be conservative lah. Market value is always below asking. So kalau market value above than asking price is bukan market value dah, takkan market value lagi tinggi daripada harga orang minta kan. That's the relationship lah.
I have two important questions. When you sign the valuation report, there is this thing called forced sale value. Is that kalau tak dapat jual at that forced sale value, is the valuer responsible?
Actually I tak tahu lah. Biasalah orang cakap forced sale value, dia nak let's say forced sale value, orang cakap harga lelong apa semua dah, tapi actually it's not sebenarnya. I think that's a requirement by the bank to put for sale value. Kita let's say nak jual paksa, berapa nilai, we use to take some percentage of to the market value lah. It depend on the property lah. Kalau property tu kita rasa senang jual, then the percentage will be higher lah. Kalau kita rasa susah jual, then we put much lower percentage lah. Tapi to be frank, market value bila kita nak jual lelong tu, it must be market value according to the National Land Code. It must be market value.
Apa? Property lelong?
Kalau property lelong kan, kalau macam bank kan, you turn to NPL, then people want to auction your property. The National Land Code stated that reserve price must be market value.
Reserve price maksudnya the lowest price ke?
Bukan, reserve price bila dia nak set up the auction tu, it must be market value.
Reserve price is a price yang the auctioneer boleh kata tak nak jual lah, sebab you tak meet the reserve price. It's a minimum. Kalau you bid at lower than reserve price, the auctioneer has the right to cancel lah. Tak apalah, it's too low.
I see. Macam mana you guys value property lelong?
property lelong kita value sama lah juga.
Ikut keliling juga lah.
Ikut market value lah, same lah. As a Malaysian Valuation Standard punya guideline, so market value punya definition lah. So kita akan ambil transaction. Cuma property lelong ni kita maybe akan bagi discount sikit sebab kita tak tahu condition dalam property tu, sebab kita tak boleh nak masuk. So maybe we give some discount on that lah. But it's subject lah, kalau dapat masuk then kita will reflect the actual value of the property.
So basically mostly you guys based on verbally, alamat.
No, kalau
Luar
property kita memang kena go on the site. Memang bila valuation report tu syarat utama dia memang you have to go
And
visit the property. Kena duduk depan tu tengok.
Tapi kalau rumah lelong ada orang duduk macam mana? Macam mana? Dah terlelong dan nak apply bank loan ni, in fact after a while pun dah beli dah pun kadang-kadang orang tu masih ada lagi. Value pun masuk macam mana?
Sometimes kita minta izin lah. Kalau tak dapat dan kita bagi tahu bank lah yang kita tak boleh nak buat. Sebab bank requirement dia kena ada. Kalau lelong untuk tujuan lelong je, maksud lelong tu dia allow untuk external inspection. Tapi kalau you're talking about financing, they need internal inspection also. So we have to go. So sometimes skill rumah lelong lah, biasa kita pergi tangkap gambar dulu sebelum apa-apa. Misal waktu saya kerja value dulu lah kan. Sampai depan rumah dia, orang bagi salam, kita tak jawab salam dulu, kita terus tangkap gambar rumah dulu. Lepas tu bagi tahu tujuan kita datang, apa semua, kena marah tu tak apa, janji gambar dah dapat kan untuk kita punya report. Itulah dulu skill saya dulu.
Ada pernah dapat case tak bila dah pergi visit dan ambil gambar apa semua, the property okay, tapi bila lelongan tu dah berjaya, let's say lah ada orang dalam rumah tu kan, dia terpaksa keluar and then dia left rumah tu, kondisi dia teruk, mungkin dia pecahkan.
Yelah, dia sabotage apa kan.
Ada pernah dapat tak, dengar tak kes-kes ni?
Itu biasa berlaku lah. biasa tengok jugalah. Sometimes dia potong wiring tu betul-betul sampai ke memang you have to hack. Dan ada kes yang kita pernah tengok letak simen dalam lubang tandas. Yang betul-betul mungkin geram ke apa ke tak tahulah kan. But yeah, we saw that. That's tapi dah lelong kan macam mana. Tapi macam kita valuation kita as a date of inspection. Market value tu waktu kita pergi ke kondisi rumah ni macam ni, that's the value of that day. So esok terbakar ke apa ke, that's another story. Our valuation good as at date of inspection.
Cakap pasal tadi kan, cakap dia geram ke apa kan, letak simen, sabotage apa semua. Kalau penyewa yang duduk rumah tu mungkin dia tak geram macam tu lah. Mostly yang buat mungkin owner sendiri yang rumahnya dilelong, dia geram. Berbalik kepada bagaimana rumah dia boleh dilelong in the first place. I think you ada some view juga on kita punya masyarakat punya money management, financial literacy.
Actually macam yang kita cakap lah tadi, actually sebenarnya macam topik kita semua berkisar, kita cakap pasal JRR, pasal cakap DIBS, pasal undervalue property tu. Kita nak educate people supaya tak terjebak sampai ke tahap lelong ni. So make sure bila you nak invest dalam property ke atau nak beli property ke, you tahu apa benda yang komitmen yang you akan kena buat. Apa benda bayaran yang you kena buat. Risk yang you kena tanggung. Benda-benda ni semua you kena tahu supaya mengelakkan you jatuh kepada trap ni. Sebenarnya saya risau Cik Faiz cakap, bila kita tengok dalam, kalau you tengok buka e-lelong mahkamah public domain government, you tengok IC orang-orang yang kena lelong kan. You tengok bila you buka UPOS tu, you klik tu, you talking about orang yang ada IC 95
2,000 ada sekarang.
98 kan. Kita risau. Actually saya kesian. Sebenarnya diorang sincere nak invest, tapi oleh kerana tak buat, hanya dengan cerita indah atau tak dapat the good guidance, dan diorang terciduk lah orang cakap kan. Actually apa yang penting macam apa, I'm so proud of you that you give that financial literacy punya. Orang kena tahu sebelum buat apa-apa, make sure. Kalau saya akan duduk depan Excel. Contoh saya nak beli numbers, I crush the number. You jangan always tengok best case scenario. You kena tahu worst case scenario kan. You letak semua. Sometimes orang beli rumah dia just tengok what is the bank require kan. Bank require debt service ratio 70%. Dia just tengok tu je. Yelah, bank tengok apa yang you commit to bank. What you punya installment yang record in secret.
But you have a life.
You ada kena bagi mak bapak you duit. You ada tuition anak. You ada nak kena bayar sekolah anak, transport anak semua. That one you tak count.
Betul.
Kan itu yang masalah kan. Sometimes orang fikir alah tak kira pun duit petrol, dia ingat petrol tu sikit, tapi kalau you count petrol 400-500 juga sebulan. Kan tak kira duit tol. Kan benda ni semua yang tu cakap, you have to crunch the number before buat apa-apa investment. Always tengok worst case scenario. Boleh ke sewa tak?
Investment or beli property ni for own stay, right?
For stay. Yeah, you make sure that you betul-betul afford.
Mampu untuk beli.
But then again, Cik Hafiz tadi ada kata diorang tak dapat good advice. How about people yang dapat very, very bad advice? Contohnya, ada kes-kes di mana orang pergi buat multi-submission ataupun loan compression. Maybe dia dijanjikan beli satu untung 100,000 lepas flip. Beli 10 dapat 1 juta. Cepat kaya. Tapi COVID happen. And then nak bayar installment pun tak boleh. Nak bayar progressive interest tak boleh. By the time due, terus kena lelong. Dapat kunci, tak dapat step in pun. Tak sampai pun. Terus kena lelong. So, what about those? What do you think about loan compression sekarang ni?
Loan compression is something yang you try nak beat the system. Kan? You rasa you hebat, you nak beat the system. Tapi actually, I nak thanks bank negara. Kan? Actually,
I know where you're going and I pun nak sama. I pun nak thanks sama-sama.
Actually, I nak thanks bank negara. It's something that I'm very proud of our Malaysian financial system. When bila kita ada COVID phase 2 tahun kan, orang tak ada kerja apa semua, we still have a holding power. Market tak collapse. Okay, that's something yang you really proud kan. Kalau kat US kita ada subprime crisis, kat Malaysia tak berlaku. Betul. Sebab apa? That system. So bank negara punya rule, okay, first property you bagi
margin 90%,
second property 90%, third property 70%. To make sure you ada third property tu bila you afford. Kan, you ada cash, you ada affordability, baru
at least 30% lah.
Okay. At least 30% cash, baru you afford nak beli. You tak ada, you nak against that 30, dia punya sistem, dan you buat multi submission, dan you dapat, bila you dapat lah, orang janji cashback, memanglah first 2 years tu memang best lah kan, dia dah susun apa semua kan. Tapi bila dah cash reserve dah drain, then you face that. So jangan beat the system. Bukan nak cakap sistem tu is there for a reason, and then it's a holistic view. You jangan tengok diri you je. You tengok system as a whole. Betul. Kan dia protect kita punya nationwide sekali kan. Because kalau property collapse, dia akan tarik semua ke bawah. It's only because kita punya financial sector semua banyak on property. Betul. So dia akan tarik semua ke bawah. So jangan beat the system lah. Just follow. Kalau you tak afford untuk beli property, jangan beli. Betul. Kan? Banyak lagi investment lain. Orang cakap mengukur baju di badan sendiri.
Yang smaller ticket size lah. Tak adalah sampai satu property 300,000, beli 10 lah tu.
Kan? Dan beli 10 dan dia tak boleh kaya overnight lah. Property you tak boleh simply kaya overnight kan. Betul? Macam skim cepat kaya macam tu tak. Dia memang dia is a long term plan. Dan it's calculated risk yang kena betul-betul kira betul-betul ni.
And just to be honest, there are people out there, memang they invest but they wouldn't touch property at all. Maybe they have one property untuk dia punya own stay, ataupun maybe even they sewa pun, tapi dia tahu it's not their game. Dia tak nak flip, dia tak nak sewakan. Lebih baik, contohlah, they prefer untuk something yang more liquid, yang smaller ticket size, as opposed to something yang wow, I selalu cakap property ni is the most expensive thing that a person can buy in their own lifetime. I mean, rumah 300,000, tadi baru kita kata murah. Kita cakap kereta 300,000. BMW mesti seriously kelas. Kalau handphone 300,000 boleh beli 10 tahun. Tiap tahun boleh beli 3,000, 3,000.
It's a big ticket item lah.
Such a big ticket item. So you have to plan betul-betul kan?
Plan betul-betul, do your cash flow, buat worst case, what is the best case, worst case. Dan sometimes bila orang beli ni dia tak calculate betul-betul. You kena tahu bila you nak beli property tu, ada benda yang bila invest in property something yang orang overlook. Okay, you kena tahu, you kena sewa. Kalau katakanlah 2-3 bulan orang tak bayar sewa, you ada that reserve. Tiba-tiba rumah rosak, you kena repair. Tiba-tiba floor orang bawah complain, water slip kat bawah kan. You kena ada cash. Betul. At least untuk nak repair that one. Lepas tu jangan sakit kepala penyewa lagi. Keluar duit. Lepas tu maintenance you kena bayar maintenance, you kena bayar quick rent, you kena bayar insurance, assessment. You make sure bila you terjun, you tahu the whole picture. You nak jatuh cinta, make sure you tahu the good story and the bad story of of the property lah.
Bukan tahu apa, collect rental je.
Jangan tahu collect
Kalau
rental
enter yang first
je.
dia tengok. Lepas tu dia letak the upper end
Ya.
of the range pula tu. Bukan yang tengah-tengah ke.
kan. Lepas tu dia tak tahu kan, tengah bulan dah orang cakap ni lampu rosak minta tolong ganti. Waktu tu mula dah berkira-kira kan.
Then what about kalau orang tu dia nak invest dalam property juga. Dia love property but they not know a single thing ataupun dia malas nak fikir pasal benda tu, or dia nak invest dalam commercial property. What do you think about real estate investment trust?
That's a good avenue lah to invest in property lah. Means you go through the more liquid things like investment trust lah. Kita ada banyak REIT kat bursa yang listed REIT lah. You talking about dia ada cover special sector lah. Ada REIT yang cover commercial property, ada REIT yang cover hospitality punya property, ada REIT yang cover hospital property.
Hospital.
Ada REIT yang memang diwujudkan untuk
Mana dia beli
hospital.
hospital and then dia sewa, dia leasekan kawan
Dia
dia.
lease back lah kan. You cakap about Alakah REIT kan. Alakah is hospital punya REIT. Kita ada hospital yang REIT yang untuk office building, ada yang hospitality REIT macam untuk hotel. You talking about YTL punya REIT kan. So dia ada pelbagai lah untuk kalau you nak invest in property lah. Tapi nak sentuh pasal ni Cik Faiz.
Sure.
Banyak advice sekarang, kenapa beli, kenapa tak sewa. Kan this kind of mentality pun agak merisaukan saya jugalah. Means ada kita no go against kan, orang tu dulu cakap beli rumah dulu, beli rumah dulu. Dan sekarang dah ada orang cakap new venture, cakap no sewa je, buat apa nak kan, siap buat analisis cash flow semua kan. It's terpulang on risk appetite masing-masing. Kalau you tak, mungkin you nak kerja dekat Australia ke, tak payah belilah kan. Memang you beli bila you balik, so you belilah property.
After
tu,
you
kan.
make so much money in Australia and then you belilah.
You baliklah kan. Tu tak ada masalah. Tapi once you mampu beli, please do.
Once you dah mampu and ada
Kalau
satu,
you tak mampu, tak apa, tak payah berkeras sampai nak
betul.
kerja siang malam nak beli property, tak apa. You memang afford to sewa 600-700. Tapi bila you dah ada mampu macam nak beli, nak bayar installment 1,002, 1,005 kan, which you can boleh beli property dekat KL apa semua, please do.
Why?
Sebab property is something yang macam saya cakap lah, dia hedge against inflation. So you beli property tu sebab you boleh loan maksimum umur you 70 tahun atau tenure tu 35 tahun. Kan? So you jangan ada masa, sebab masa tak datang balik. So sampai umur 40 tahun bila you dah kahwin, dah ada anak kan, alamak kenapa lah dulu tak beli. Sebab waktu tu you tak ada penyesalan, tak guna dah. Sebab bila you punya short term, you punya long term period, you punya loan period tu, you punya installment akan getting higher. Kan, you instead of you boleh pinjam 35 tahun, you hanya boleh pinjam 20 tahun, dan you punya installment tu dah double. Kan? So bila you afford, please do buy. Sebab property ni, saya cakap berdasarkan pengalaman saya beli rumah pertama saya at 200,000. And within 3 or 4 years I sold back at 350. So I gain 150,000, dan I make that money tu untuk deposit new house. So maknanya you beli property tu, you boleh letak property tu, you boleh dapat modal untuk you beli rumah yang lebih baik akan datang, daripada you tak buat apa-apa sekarang. It's a say in property, you don't wait and buy, you buy and wait.
Tapi buy
a good property lah. Balik kepada cerita yang panjang kan, analisis semua buat apa semua kan. Dan lagi satu, I tak cakap, tapi I just nak make sure bila you buat decision, you tahu benda tu. Contohnya orang cakap, I nak beli rumah atas tanah. Kan dia banyak say, dia willing, dia tak nak beli dekat urban center, dia nak beli sanggup travel 40-50 kilometers, yang you lepas subuh dah keluar.
Landed lah maksudnya.
Dia nak landed. Dia willing to sacrifice that, keluar lepas subuh. Bukan lepas subuh lah, lepas azan subuh, terus solat, terus keluar, ataupun solat subuh tu dekat office. Balik lepas isyak.
Betul.
Wow.
Okay, ada that's the trend dengan menghadap traffic jam apa semua. Dan I nak you all consider benda ni, sebab travel time tu you tak consider bila you nak beli. You just fikir nak rumah dekat atas tanah,
Landed,
tapi you tak fikir
selesa,
travel time,
betul,
masa dengan anak, quality time, apa-apa jadi kat rumah senang nak balik apa semua.
betul.
So you have to balance out. Kalau you duduk dekat KL, okay lah, I tak dapat rumah landed, tapi you dapat duduk rumah yang high rise, lagi dekat dengan tempat kerja, senang untuk you buat apa-apa. So apa yang you willing untuk sacrifice, apa yang you tak nampak. So you kena balance out between these two lah. So itu nasihat saya. Saya kadang-kadang kesian sebab lagi satu, bila you beli kat rumah yang supply is scarce, supply is limited,
Scarce,
dia punya pace untuk drive appreciation tu lagi cepat. Compare you beli dekat tempat yang tanah masih banyak, projek tu akan ada yang baru. Compare
kan.
dekat tempat yang memang dah dense, kan, dia punya pace of appreciation tu akan lagi laju. So kalau I ini it's just a view. I tak ni. Kalau I beli rumah dekat yang urban area, dan bila esok you nak pension, you nak beli dekat outskirt, dan you dah ada yang capital gain of that property yang dekat sini untuk you invest balik dekat sana. Sebab pace dia akan different.
I agree about buying a property kalau mampu. And not necessarily you buy that property bila you mampu, is for your own stay. Actually you boleh je ada property tapi you actually living tempat lain yang more closer to your workplace lah. Maksudnya you afford both lah. Ataupun property yang dah beli tu disewakan. Kita pun menyewa tempat lain.
Ada orang yang buat macam ni tau, yang dia sewa rumah, dia actually disewakan rumah yang dia own, dia sewa bilik. Ada juga orang yang buat macam tu. So,
berbalik pada mesti mampulah untuk own the property. Alright. Okay. Thank you so much Encik Hafiz for coming in the podcast today. It's very informative dan berisi lah. Actually I ada banyak lagi soalan nak tanya. Macam banyak lagi soalan tak tertanya lah. Tapi it's okay, since kita dah podcast quite a bit of time, maybe we can invite you again in the next podcast. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much Encik Hafiz. You guys are awesome dan Assalamualaikum.